Look at you. You're kicking shit. Your microphone is nowhere to be found. I see your ID. You've changed glasses. No mic. There. And with your ID. What are you doing? We sat for 5 minutes, started the show late, like some black folks, and then you still are not. I don't think, is that plugged in?
Yeah, it is plugged
Okay.
in.
You're always handling the mic like when we find like an uncontacted species of like a group of people that live on a remote island. They hand them a camera and a Coca-Cola. That's how you handle your mic. You're like, what is this? Awesome. You just yell into it and it tells you people your thoughts. What's up, little Miss Brown sweater?
Yeah, it's a matching outfit.
Oh, is it a onesie?
No, it's just a set, and it's the most comfortable set, by the way. It's called Softies, but it's expensive, but I want to buy one in every color and just be like, that's my Steve Jobs uniform. It's so comfortable.
If somebody was like, describe Tori's style, I would say gutted teddy bear. Like you just look like the inner lining of Build-A-Bear. I'm digging it. It's very East Coast, very Northeast grandma.
Yeah, I'm like Punch's monkey stuffy.
Oh yeah, I like that. Updated. You know what's interesting about calling people like, oh, whatever, grandma. Grandmas have changed.
Yeah, they're
grandmas.
Cool now.
Yeah, well, do you think maybe grandmas were always cool?
Obviously,
but like
yeah.
had to maintain. Oh, do you kids want cookies? And meanwhile, she's like smoking parliaments with her friends in the back, talking about her husband unable to perform again. Just like with her girls 4 martinis deep by 2 p.m. I bet you there's a lot of wasted, cool ass grandmas.
I bet you too. My grandma was great. I miss Michael Dean says he misses his. I miss mine so much. She was a very strong woman. She would look at me and say, "Did you brush your hair?" And I go, "Yeah." And she would go, "Well, you're obviously doing something wrong."
Yeah. Just the very nature of that question is
bad. Yeah, exactly.
Did you take a shower today? Like, no matter what you answer to that, it's over. It's not good.
Oh, man.
It is not good. All right. Well, Tori, we are here on a Tuesday. We're going up on a Tuesday. Do you remember that song?
Yeah, going up on a Tuesday.
He was like, in a world where I constantly defend one-hit wonders, he had a weird name. His name was like Life of Mackinnon. That was his whole name. And he just had like, I think that one song. And then he did some weird stuff on an airplane that you can Google yourself. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's like worse that you get really big for 9 months and then it's just over.
I mean, I can't imagine the pain of not having. I'm someone that needs a lot of external validation. And if you have a one-hit wonder, like that's got to be like very painful for the rest of your life. You're like that guy. That's just a lot of, that hurts.
It hurts, but you know what? No one ever talks about being a 4-hit wonder. You need to be a 4-hit wonder, not 4 mega double diamond platinum sales.
But I need to know 4 songs from you.
You need 3 or 4 songs so that you can tour casinos. I was at a casino 2 weeks ago in Florida with Hannibal, and all these groups that people go, whatever happened to so-and-so? They fell off. They're doing a casino for $35,000. They're going to come out there. They're going to mail it the FN. They're not trying. They're like, all right, you drunks, we're contractually obligated to sing Wake Me Up. Here we go. You ready? Wake up, grandma. Here we go. And they look at their watch after every show, after every song. My buddy Forrest Shaw did a show, and Rob Bass, the guy that sings It Takes Two, was performing right after the comedy show. It was in Ocala, Florida, at a place that does line dancing. It's a huge venue. And they were talking, and he was like, yeah, I do these. I get 15 grand and move on to the next city. And he's like, it takes 2 to make a thing go right. All right. Doesn't it? 2 more songs to make it right. Young MC, you're next. It's just like, I don't know. It's, if you can get 3 or 4 songs off, you can tour for the rest of your life.
You can do really well. Yeah, that's totally true. That's a good point.
Meanwhile, comics, if we tell the same joke, people will tell you, I heard that. Like, Jesus Christ. Sorry. Yeah. All right.
Get off the stage.
Yeah, get off the stage. Comics are always like secretly very jealous of musicians because musicians just show up. If you just have a guitar on your back, there's already 2 girls that are going to have sex with you.
It's true.
Like, it sucks. That's not that count. I created this myself. You're doing covers. Yeah. All right, Tori. Let's get to our before we go, Tori, give me your best memory with your grandma.
I think my best memory was being at the beach, but I don't really remember that. Mostly it was, we would have like salad, potatoes, corn on the cob, a good like chicken or steak, and it'd be out on our back deck. And then Katie, my sister, and I would perform for my grandparents like a play or a little like skit, and they would laugh and like, and I'd have a good baguette with butter and like, that was some of my favorite memories of them. They spent 6 months out of the year in Florida, 6 months in Maryland, so they could be near me and the granddaughters. And so that was the best, just having like dinner with them on a porch on a summer night.
And Julia, I'll answer your question in 1 second because that's a great question. I'll say for me, it's still, and it's weird because when we were at trivia, when we won last week, state champs, baby, what it do? Come get some. Anybody at that trivia that wants another beating, we hand them out whenever. But there was a question that we got wrong, but it was there's a picture of it was chiffon cake, I guess, but I thought it was pound cake.
Yeah.
And for me, rather than like having this like incredible memory, it was just the way my grandmother's house smelled. It was always super clean, and there was always food, and she just like, she took so much joy in like making some food and catching up. And, just like, it was just, I felt safe at her house.
Yeah. There's a safety there. Totally.
I love her and I miss her. And Julia asked a great question before we get started. She said, do I get a lot of material from doing this? You know what, Julia, how I get it? And it's not really necessarily I'll write a joke based on what we've done. This show, especially doing it every day, first of all, it keeps you current, and it makes me my jokes, what I do consciously or subconsciously, are usually about trends and about hypocrisy. So, for example, like this might be a little untoward to kick the show off with, but I have a joke about dildos in my act.
Who doesn't?
It's not, but the thing is that it's not about sex at all. It's about the hypocrisy and the shame that we put around sex. But the fact that, like, I always say, where are they? They're made of plastic. It takes plastic 10,000 years to break down. People are still making them. Clearly, people are buying them.
Are you asking, like, where is there a landfill of just dildos?
I don't think they're in a landfill, Tori. I think people collect those like people in the South collect guns. I think there's a lot of them everywhere, but I think because we are kind of a shame-based culture, especially as it pertains to sex, people don't like to talk. So it's my way to kind of like open up the idea that like not only is this a safe space where like you're not going to be judged during this comedy show, but also like maybe have you look at the world around you and maybe everything is not as it appears, But yeah, let's and Julia, I made Julia write dildos in the comments and now I feel dirty.
She's a grandmother. Like, that's not right.
I know, but that's my point. I'm not treating Julia like a grandmother because grandmothers are cool now. Julia she like, girl, I had one before you were a twinkle in your daddy's eye. That's how older folks. I knew you. I just miss those old school phrases that like when I would meet like my dad's friends like out in public. I knew you when you were twinkle in your mama's eye. Your daddy looked like he spit you out. Just old school sayings that don't exist anymore. So yes. All right, Tori, let's get into it because it turns out starting a random ass war has consequences. How do you like your wars? I like them random and unnecessary. Tori, the Iran war is hitting, where I kind of talked about it a little bit, and we discussed, it's going to start to affect people's pocketbooks. We talked about Dubai yesterday, but, the chickens will come home to roost. Speaking of old school sayings, the widening conflict in Iran has sent shockwaves through the global financial and energy markets this week, causing massive disruptions. Oil prices spiked by more than 15% to over $80 a barrel, following reports of drone attacks on facilities in the Middle East. We'll get to the Dow in our next story, but Tori, as if this war couldn't be less popular, can you imagine the expletives that have been yelled at various gas pumps around the country when people went to go reach and they were like 411? Yeah, it's
oh my God.
Yeah, they said it could go up past where it was during the financial crisis and during COVID. So this is we're talking about gas over $5 anywhere you go.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I always call Trump Bam Bam, because he tends to do things and then not think of the consequences and just like bams up the whole room and then like just walks out. So not only are gas prices going up and people are like, this isn't what I asked for when I talked about affordability. This isn't what I want.
That's a word that was just made up, like groceries.
Yeah, that's right. He also yesterday talked about, someone asked, like I had brought up yesterday, the vacuum in power. And they were like, who do you think will be next from the Ayatollah? And he was like, it is possible that we have left a vacuum, and it could be that the wrong people come in, like the Islamic Republic, could come in and take over power. And it's like, so don't do it. Like, then what are we doing here?
Well, Tori, he kind of ran into a problem, because when he bombed and killed the Ayatollah, which he was very proud of, the two potential successors that they were handpicked by the U.S. Were also in that room. So
they were in that room as well.
So they killed the leader and the people that they wanted to succeed him. This is real, Tori. This is like the people from Veep ran the country, only they weren't funny.
I totally agree. It's like, all I said about military strategy was that you have to have some type of foreign policy experience, some type of general that you are comfortable with, some type of idea that the two people you want to replace wouldn't be in the same room as the person that you're trying to kill. That's where you get like Pete Hegseth as the guy in charge. Like, you're going to make these huge mistakes that'll have consequences for generations. And I like what Julia said. He thinks he can shoot first and ask questions later. That's my Bam Bam impression. And it's how he lives his life. I mean, there's no real plan. It's, I want to do this. Now someone insulted me over here, I'm going to do this. Then it's like a mole, what is it called? Whack-a-mole. You know what I mean? And when we do that, when people's countries' lives and our soldiers are in danger, you've created a massive problem.
Well, I mean, when you talk about
consequences.
Right. Well, he is a lame duck president, no matter how much he teases running for a third term. And speaking of danger, just you said that and it sparked this thought in my mind. Tori, don't forget that there are Americans abroad that are now in danger at certain embassies because there was no exit plan.
Yeah, no one thought to evacuate them.
It would be like if we were at a nightclub and you were like, Al, I'm about to go punch this girl, so you might want to pull the car around. Like, you kind of plan for these things. And they just like let them and they literally posted, you need to make your own safety exit plans. And they're like, bro, I'm in Bahrain. The airport is a cinder. Like,
yeah, it's like, how am I supposed to do that? Yeah. So right now, I mean, and you see the same way he does this with like ICE, for instance. Let's bring out a ton of armed masked men and drag people out or into their houses without warrants. Oh, what was that? Oh, 2 people were murdered on video. Let's pull them out. It's like no concept of the future. It's all now, which is another way of looking at a narcissistic personality. What serves me right now in this moment? So it's going to be chaos. That's what this is. This is chaos. And we still don't have any authorization from Congress, which again is the legal constraint in which he is unilaterally playing this game. So at some point, this comes to a head to the Supreme Court, and you go into the War Authorization Act, and you're like, hey, dude, you can't just start wars because you're mad. I mean, that's so true.
Well, that's the back and forth that they've been having, because obviously our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, fresh from happy hour. There are morning happy hours. I've been to a few. And, he and Trump were obviously saying war is hell. And like this, we lost some soldiers, but, this is war. But the pundits that they're sending out to the cable news outlet interview shows are getting around the question of, why didn't you get congressional approval, by saying this hasn't been declared an actual war. So you have half of your minions saying this isn't even a war, and the president half are like, this is war.
Yeah, no one has a clue what's going on. No one. Yeah, no one. Yeah. So it's not great.
Yeah, and Marcy brought up Melania being a joke on that panel. That panel that she's discussing was the UN Security Council. If you have not seen it, just type it into YouTube. We will wait. We'll be here when you get back. It is, there it is. This looks like Bring Your Kid to Work Day, where they're just like, you're the president today, sweetie.
She has no reason to be seated in that seat. And she was lecturing, are you guys ready? On peace. I don't get it. It's just embarrassing. Yeah, why does it say president? She's president of like good highlights.
If I was her, I would have just been like, F it, and just start plugging my movie. Just like, really, just like, look, the real thing is, you can catch me. I'll be at the Funny Bone. Yeah, I can't, like, I was looking at this woman stumbling through the opening, just reading from a piece of paper, pregnant pauses that you could drive a semi through, because she was reading each word, because she's clearly just looked at it. So she's like, good to be here in front of the council. We like, pick it up, sweetie. Oh my gosh, what is happening?
We gotta move.
Who sent her?
We gotta move.
I just like, I look at her, and for as much as we're making fun, and we will, she's in the Epstein files. She's got pictures. Prince Andrew lost his life for having his arm around the waist of Virginia Giuffre. She dated Jeffrey.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's talking to us about the safety of children, as far as I could tell from that.
Be best, which doesn't even make grammatical sense at this point. It's all a joke. It's just, we wanted a circus, we got a circus. These are just crazy people running what's going on, talking out of their ass, hypocritical, all over the place. He ran on not starting wars and stopping wars. He wants the Nobel Peace Prize, and now we're bombing Dubai and Iran without a plan of action in any way. So I was wondering if that's true. I was going to say that, Julia. I remember Epstein did introduce Melania to Trump.
Tori,
that's how they got to know each other.
Rabbit hole on this.
Yeah, right. I mean, she is something. I want to see that contract so badly.
Well, here's how it works, and this is actually kind of interesting. People know Epstein for, obviously, the honeypot sexual blackmail that he's kind of known for, and that grabbed everybody's attention because it involves children, as it should. But there were two types of girls, and they'd be put on two different tracks. The young ones that they were not interested in long term would be on the child trafficking route. The other one was, they would take, almost like when you're like a shady government and you find a couple really talented kids and you take them out of school and they become spies, but you see it like 10 years old. Oh, this girl speaks 6 languages and she's like attractive, and come on, you're going to come work for this country. That's, some of them become on that track, and they are groomed to marry these kinds of men. So almost like you were doing with your fostering. That's what Epstein was doing with Melania, allegedly. And also there was another famous guy that met his wife. I think she was like Miss Norway or something, or she ran for it. She's the one early, way back. She made that comment where she like not comment, she wrote a letter of recommendation after Jeffrey got out of jail for trafficking and said, I would definitely allow my kids to be around him and blah, blah. And she was one of those girls that was groomed to be a wife. And so, yeah, that's why, like, and that's how you kind of keep it. Brandon, do you want to get in the air, Kirk? Don't do that, bruh. You don't want that. I'll just because like that, Tori, I mean, if you think about like this person, Kirk is obviously her married name now, but her maiden name is Rothschild. The Rothschilds and the Rothsteins were famous gangsters, and Rothstein is actually the guy that fixed the World Series with the Chicago Black Sox. He was involved in that, and so like that family has been involved in scams right up until his granddaughter, and there are pictures with her and her grandfather Rothschild, like that's really her grandfather. And now all of a sudden this random girl, this random woman is running TP USA, a multi-million-dollar company. I just don't know what luck. How random is that, Tori?
I agree. Yeah. And I agree with Filbert Romero, who just wrote, it's to create the notion of a royal family to be around at time. God or someone else help us. I totally agree with you. There's a sense of he is enamored with the royals, with the monarchy, with the dictatorship, with remember, I mean, having his daughter in the administration in the first term and keeping, you know, who is going to be the heir to the Trump throne, right? You know, which son is that going to be? So it is modeling against a very un-American way, is the way that Trump likes to look at it. Now, a lot of tears someone's writing, and a lot of people thinking, Al, she's got some kind of tear stick in that tissue. And there was that one clip you saw her before going on stage where she's sort of like dripping something in a lot of questions about, are those real tears or are those manufactured tears? So.
I mean, these are all, and Black Asian asked a really good question, you know, as we were joking around, but like she said, did anybody, and also what's up, Black Asian? She was saying, has anybody actually seen the Melania movie? And my answer to that is it doesn't matter. That is just money laundering. Remember what we talked about months ago when I was like, everything that we see and we interact with is money laundering?
It was like 42 million. Amazon
42 million, and they didn't seem to do a lot of promoting. I didn't see a lot of billboards.
No. This
is the most expensive documentary of all time. You would think this is a documentary about the history of American football or something. Yeah. This was just a random, sequencing of shots over the course of 20 days, because this is just no different than the laundering of money with the CBS lawsuits that were settled without ever going to court. You know, what do you, I mean? It's everything that you see is just a way, or his $1 million plate. When Trump was talking about our war with Iran, he was on his way to $1 million plate dinner at Mar-a-Lago. Have you ever had any food that seemed like it was worth $1 million? What do you think that's really what do you think you're paying for there?
Let's launder it all. I do also want to say that, Marcy, you are correct. There is a South Park coming up, and they have started, one of the writers has started a website, and it's to draft Barron Trump into the Iran war.
Tori, it's an honorable thing. They said Lindsey Graham was like, it's super honorable. And this is you will be a martyr. So I'm like, let's get Barron.
Yeah, he's 7'8". He it's www.draftbarontrump.com.
And you know, everybody.
It's so funny because it goes back to like the Civil War, the Vietnam War. They're not sending their senator son. You have to be a fortunate one. You're not the fortunate one. I mean, it's true. They never send their own. And very, very few send their own. First Avenger just said, "There's Barron."
Yeah,
it's just a hilariously sarcastic, and it hints back at the bone spurs, and it hits back at the lack of service that this family has ever served, and somehow gained all of what they've gotten access to without ever participating in being of service to our country at all. I do want to just say this: the First Avenger, I have written this on my Instagram over and over and over again, and it is an amazing quote by George Orwell, 1984, that predicted a dystopia like this. And in it, it says, the party, which is like the dictators, told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and your ears, and it was their final, most essential command. And I've always said that. Don't trust, this group of people wants you to not trust comics, the truth tellers, the doctors, the scientists, NIH, historians. They only want you to trust what they tell you. Yeah, it's vaccines, right? It's like no TV. They want their TV to be on. So keep that in mind. It's a fabulous quote, First Avenger, that I've been really looking as to following the playbook. And it's like, yeah, don't trust that Alex Preddy was just shot, even though I just saw him shot and I heard him shot and he didn't have a gun in his hand. Don't believe that he's a domestic terrorist. That's the kind of like warped view they want you to be like, okay, that's what they want. So it's just
the crazier thing about the Alex Preddy situation that I was weirdly thinking about it today is I don't know why they didn't figure that there would be video of it. Everybody has a camera with them, but assuming that nobody recorded it, they would have been fine just leaving that narrative there. They would have just been like, yeah, he was. And we talk about these sociopaths all the time, Tori, and what an advantage it is, especially when you have an administration like this, to go out and find other people that don't feel anything. Hey, we got Pam Bondi. Do you care about the Epstein survivors? What Epstein survivors? The ones behind you. Oh,
I can't see them. I can't see them. I'm not looking.
Exactly. I don't think she ever has thought about that again. I don't think she's ever. I guarantee you there have been things that you've said trying to be funny. Lord knows there are things that I've said trying to be funny and it missed. You end up really hurting somebody's feelings. And I would think about it for years.
Oh yeah.
Of course. And you're just like, when you really meant no harm, but like these people will never feel that.
Yeah.
And it's just like they're just the kind of people that do advance in their careers because they have no scruples. Your dad is one of the most successful lawyers that's alive. Imagine if he had no scruples. If he was like, yeah, I'll get that guy off. What was that guy running? He was assaulting children at his string of gyms. I'll get him off. Like if your dad wasn't a human, he would be doing 10 times better, and he's doing amazing. But exactly. That the sky is the limit when you don't have any limits, which is a sad indictment.
Yeah, and you're not held accountable by any kind of other branch of the government. That's what's so scary. So it's that's what this whole administration has been. Don't trust your eyes. And I always put up on my Instagram, as well as that quote from Orwell, the woman holding the sign that says, "What if there were no video?" And I take that back to George Floyd, and I take that back to I Can't Breathe, and I take that back to Alex Preddy and Renee Good. If there was no video, which happened back in the day in the civil rights, they could have said Emmett Till raped or whistled or did something to that white woman, and they got away with it. And now we're like, hello. So
Tori, do you know because that is an amazing point that I never even thought about. The sadder and scarier point is there was video and they still tried to say, yeah, she turned the wheel to hit him. Yeah, look at him. He came there to attack.
Don't trust your eyes. Don't trust what you just saw.
George Floyd is on opioids right now, and that's why he did. We're like looking at it.
I know. That's the crazy part. I'm seeing it. No, I know. And by the way, Kristi Noem was just in the Senate today and was reamed by Republicans and Thomas Till and Democrats alike. And a lot of them were saying, will you apologize about calling Alex Preddy a domestic terrorist? Will you apologize to his parents before you had any information? She goes, I didn't call him a domestic terrorist. I called it a domestic terrorist situation. And it's like, we're not dumb. We're not stupid. The idea, the control they think they have is not the control that they have. And so it's just, it's insulting. It's insulting.
I think the thing that they would never go to in their playbook, the thing that might work to give them a little bit of social grace right now, is if they did show some humanity, some heart. If she goes, that was one of the biggest mistakes of my career, and I do, where's his mom? I've already called her and apologized. That would go so far.
That
would go so far, but they don't have that.
No.
in her.
Yeah.
It's just like,
No.
yeah, just what are you talking about?
And one of them brought up the idea, he goes, you shot your 14-month-old dog and said it was a brave act of leadership. He goes, I train dogs. You should be ashamed of yourself. And it was, I mean, she really got really reamed out by a bipartisan level. And I hope she sees the inside of a jail cell at some point, but who knows what any accountability will happen. But there's a lack of, yeah, Shelley said it, no empathy, no sort of humanness, no sort of idea that I'm a human, you're a human, I represent you, I'm here to help you. It is such the aberration president in which a lack of humanity is just gone. It is just empty. And it's that's why I say the worst presidency we've ever had, because he or she is supposed to represent you, console you, lead as the chief. And it's like, instead, it's just all lack of any kind of warmth, any kind of truth, any kind of accountability. It's very, very sad. It's the saddest timeline. It really is. And yeah, several congressmen and women asked for her resignation. And Thomas Till's a huge Republican, and he was going after her. He was like, you are grossly incompetent for this job. You are grossly incompetent.
I mean, yeah, and you kind of see that even though they all are under the tent of Republican, and even though Thomas Till and I disagree on probably almost every issue.
Yeah,
there's a baseline of humanity,
decency, like decency. Have you know decency?
Even if I think what you're saying is grossly offensive, if I can figure out a way that, like, I could see how somebody might come up with that. I think the difference with the Kristi Noems, with the Stephen Millers, the people that rise to the ranks, the Marco Rubios, is they are unable to feel any of those emotions. They don't feel that. So she's not even aware. No. I watched this this documentary about true sociopaths and psychopaths.
Yeah,
and they were saying
pathological.
Pathological is the right word, because they were saying, like, a psychopath, if they're walking home and they see a car accident and they see a woman come out of a burning car screaming, my baby is in there, oh my God, they would just stare at her, memorize her face, and then go home in the mirror and practice like this is what people do when they're scared. Yeah, because they just don't understand. And that's kind of where we are with this administration. This isn't just shadiness for money. This is the way Kristi Noem's been the entire time.
And not only that, Al, let me also add that federal judges are saying, like, I've never once had to hold someone in contempt of court because of them literally going against my orders. And they just do it. They have no sense of listening to the branches of government, no sense of holding up to the Constitution. It is just their way, no other way. I'm not turning around to look at anything but what we want. And it's very pathological. I mean, it's very, very pathological. I'm going
to say this before we move on, Tori, but just really, I meant to mention this yesterday when we were talking about Trump's speech, when he was trying to cede the ground to America that more troops are definitely going to lose their life in this. If you watch that entire speech, which I did because I hate myself, I think I couldn't find my phone. It was going through my headphones. I was like, let me just listen. And Tori, he acknowledges, because there was like 2 of the families of fallen soldiers there at the speech. He addresses them and he goes, yeah. And I mean, you know, people look at me and they look out that window there and they see, you know, where I've torn down part of the White House, but it's going to be bigger. It's going to be a great ballroom. And I got the drapes in here.
Yeah,
I bought drapes. Tori, he went on about these drapes.
I know.
For minutes, yo.
I know.
It was so, and I'm sure I just kept thinking about, like, the family, like, you are coming to terms with the fact that your 20-something-year-old kid, that's always going to be your baby. That kid is not 20 in your mind. That kid is 5 years old, 8 years old, the rest of their life in your head. And the president is acknowledging their loss. And you're like, wow, at least my son was able to be acknowledged. And now he's talking about a duvet cover in a bedroom, in a guest bedroom, in the Lincoln bedroom. He is so uninterested or unable
to connect.
It's like when Obama cried after Sandy Hook, it was just like, and I remember people going, oh, there's a crocodile tears. It's like, there are other people that just like are horrified when they hear that children's heads have been blown off.
Yes, 6-year-olds.
There are a few weirdos like that too.
Yeah, there are people like that. He started singing Amazing Grace after the church shooting, and people were like, that's a ploy. And I'm like, that's someone who goes to religion and church because they have nowhere else to go because of the pain that they're in after seeing this. And Trump has always been about things: the gold, the toilets, the drapes, the ballroom. It's never about people, right? He never is interested in the arts or humor, or he doesn't go out to dinner and try He doesn't seem to like food.
It's just McDonald's.
It's just McDonald's, right? There's this absence of sort of interest in things other than shows of wealth. That's all he's sort of obsessed with, which is really weird, really weird. So I think empathy should be a number one for like the next president. Like that should be a requirement. Like, are you a sociopath?
Yeah, I mean it's just.
I've never seen him like smile. He doesn't really smile or laugh. Like there's no humor. There's no.
Yeah, I watched a video of people saying that Trump doesn't know when he's making a joke, but he stops when people laugh. But he doesn't know that he's just made a joke. He's like, Melania, boy, I got, speaking of something I wish I could get rid of. And then they'll laugh because they think like, oh, that was a joke that you would make. And then
he'll look and be like, oh.
Yeah, he'll step back from the podium and nod and then keep going. But like he doesn't find anything funny or anything, No, and that's why he didn't think it was weird that he served the hockey team McDonald's.
Yeah, I know. It's really scary. Yeah. You just want to see someone human.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
All right. Well, Tori, speaking of human, I've been waiting for you to reenact this human to lead into this next story, because we were talking about Pam Bondi. And for as much as she really...
You're a washed up lawyer.
Yeah. Oh, God. Her burn book. Ugh. But she did have a phrase that we will all remember. And Tori, I would like you to do the most iconic 3-word sentence in Pam Bondi's career. But the Dow. How did you die? I didn't think I would have to tell you. If everybody in the chat room just leaves now and unsubscribes, I would not be mad.
I mean, but this is what we should be talking about. The Dow is over 50,000. That's what we should be talking
50,000. 50,000.
Not child rape. We shouldn't be talking about that being a ring within our government. We need to talk about the Dow. But the Dow. Yeah. But the Dow has become a moment in history for this administration. Think about talking about only things. Like we were talking about child rape, pedophilia, perhaps murder, perhaps children with being tortured. But the Dow is what's important, not the people, the thing, the money. That's what's important.
Wait, hold on. I think I just banned Gabriel Garcia by accident.
Oh, no.
Wait, no. How do I undo that?
Oh, no.
Oh, I was trying to get the other guy.
Oh,
Jesus. Wait, hold on. Major issue here. Wait, oh my gosh.
Does anyone know how to get Double G back?
Wait, how do I redo this? Sarah's looking at me like, what have you done?
He's such a good man.
I know he is.
Yeah, today the Dow isn't, but the Dow's not doing so great.
I can't talk about the Dow right now. I have to get Gabriel back.
I don't think you're going to be able to.
Do you know, Michael Dean, can you come on? This is an emergency. Oh my God. I know, Deborah, there was another guy. We can't ever get him back?
No, I tried. I did the same thing before where I accidentally banned someone.
Is he gone for life?
No. He'll be back next chat.
Okay. Oh no.
Stop and restart the whole kit and caboodle.
Wait, does anybody on the chat know Gabriel?
Put your mouse on his name and take it off. Someone wrote.
I tried that. Hold on.
Okay. If we were on YouTube itself, I think maybe we could, rather than the StreamYards.
Wait, let me see if I can.
From there.
It's saying reload. I'm scared to push that button. Because the thing is, I had it on the guy that was cursing at people, and the chat moved up one, and it was a longtime viewer of the show, and it clicked on it. I feel so terrible. Sweet Mother of Mary. If anybody knows, wait, okay, go back to where you blocked him and hit his icon. I know, but the icon's, wait, maybe the icon's gone. It's just like a it looks like that thing, the Ghostbuster symbol. Okay, but Michael Dean, you said that he can come back tomorrow? Okay. Yeah, if anybody knows, I think he might have emailed us. So if he did, I'll personally email him and tell him I feel so terrible. Yeah. Somebody Jag wrote free GG. Wait, wait, Marcy says no he can't. Is he banned forever?
Go back to where you blocked him, hit his icon, hit the icon again, and it will give you the ability to come back.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to where I blocked him.
You permanently blocked him.
No, don't tell me that, Tori. I already feel terrible. Jesus Christ. I don't maybe if I can find his YouTube. Is that his name on YouTube?
You have to do it from the horizontal feed on YouTube itself, not on StreamYard.
Not okay. Okay. Sorry, can Michael Dean do that? I feel so bad. All right, it's like somebody dropped a baby in here right now. It's everybody's quiet. Sarah's like not talking to me.
Someone says, I tried to do it. I can't because it was you that did it. That's mean. You did do it.
Oh my God, Michael Dean has already see. This is what Democrats do. We start we blame one person. We all need to go down. See, baby, I don't see it anywhere, Sarah. Sarah's working from home today. Damn it. It was Doug Willits who was writing some foul stuff, and I didn't want people reading it. Wait, you try it. Yeah. See, but it's not there.
It feels like a funeral.
I know. I feel so bad. It's like friendly fire. Yeah, I don't know. I feel terrible.
Okay.
Sorry, not that guy. That's the guy that. What if we let back the guy that was really mean? Doug's back, y'all. Okay. Sorry, can you go YouTube? I will call Gabriel tonight and be like, that was Tori.
Says go to everyone stop the chat. Go to YouTube Studio. I'm just trying to help out. I have no idea, but we'll try and figure this out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And also you can go to YouTube Studio on my phone. But yeah, YouTube Studio. Because I think there would be like blocked users in there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to do the rest of the show in honor of Gabriel.
Okay.
I feel like a cop that accidentally shot his partner, and this is my first day back. I'm like, okay, Shelly, Sarah is going to our YouTube studio.
Shelly says go to your own YouTube account. It will show you the people you've blocked and gives you the ability to unblock him. Is he banned on both chat? Okay, I don't know.
All right, Tori, the Dow is tanking. Anyway, moving on. That just really ruined it. All right, Tori, I do want to talk about this because it does involve the Clintons. While you talk, I'm going to try and find Gabriel. But Tori, the Clintons Epstein deposition tape is about to drop. House Republicans recently released hours of video footage from the behind closed door deposition of Bill and Hillary Clinton regarding Jeffrey Epstein. During his testimony, Bill Clinton admitted to flying on his plane for the Clinton Foundation, but firmly denied witnessing any abuse. Before we get to Hillary, what do you take from that?
I don't really believe it.
Would you believe anybody that said that?
Nope. No, I have no evidence to believe any of these people have not been lying for decades. There's no reason to believe that. And I liked Clinton. I thought he was a great president, except for the Rwanda genocide, which was horrific. But he balanced I'm a Clinton fan, but I think he did some shady, terrible things and should be investigated as well. That's how you know I'm not in a cult, because I can take someone from my party and say they should be held accountable too. That's exactly how you know.
Yes, it's
oh my God, someone wrote R.I.P. Gabriel.
I have to put that up. You're lucky I don't block you too. Clearly, I'm not good with it. God.
Oh, Brandon gave us $5 for the GG liberation.
I hate y'all. I feel so bad.
You should.
I know. We got to do something nice for Gabriel when he comes back.
Yeah. Dirty Bill. I have evidence from him from Monica. I have evidence that he abuses power. There's no evidence to go against the feeling that that man lied. So no, I don't trust him.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like I always look at things as it's just like how it is in our real life. And have you ever been to a party? And this would happen to me a lot as a comic. Back when I used to hang out and party early in my career, you do a show in like some coastal city like Port Charlotte, Florida. And after the show, people are like, hey, we're all going to my girlfriend Tori's house. And you go, all right. And we go over your house and it's fine. Then they go, we're going to go over her girlfriend Sarah's house. And you get over there and it's different. There's like cash on the table, some guys that are playing video games that aren't looking at you. There's no music playing. You're just like, something's happening in here. And you cannot leave that house without being like, they were selling something or doing something shady in there.
Totally.
And you cannot go to an island where just seeing one 15-year-old, I'd be like, is your niece here?
Yeah.
Like, you know what, you don't know what's happening. And you know that
plausible deniability, and you don't have it. He doesn't have it. Clinton doesn't have it. Now, I've told you guys I thought he would dish directly out, and I thought that would be true. And it seems like the Clintons are keeping up their appearance. I really wish he had just told everything and let us be done with this situation. But thank you, Marcy, for the $5. We appreciate that. For Gabe.
But it's every dollar that's donated is another stab in my heart. Like, I feel so bad. See, this is why I wish I was Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem be like, Gabriel who?
Yeah.
Then that's what I don't think we have. Like, we got to work on our lack of empathy. It's just like, what? He shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been communicating so much. Maybe he's got something to think about now. All right, Tori. Well, your girl Hillary, I don't even need to read this. She went in after that picture of her was leaked by Lauren Boebert, who I was shocked. She was in the meeting and leaked the picture.
So her attorney said, I have to stop and interrupt for a second here. Somehow there's pictures of the secretary testifying as we're speaking being leaked out. And Hillary went batshit, as I would have too, because she had asked for this whole thing to be public over and over and over again. And so she said, I'm out. If this stuff is happening, I am walking out. I don't care if you hold me of contempt in Congress. I don't care. I'm done with this. And you could see like she's like, this is your tactics. This is what you always do. And they had to take a break and walk away. But the hypocrisy of that party against her has been ongoing. And to think she had Pizzagate and people thinking she was running this child sex ring and they cared so much about it then. And then now we find out allegedly it's the president and they're like, well, we don't care as much. You know, we just don't
Julia
care.
just killed me.
For quick draw Jackson.
I can't with y'all today. It's like, what are y'all doing? After this is over, I'm just going to go, because here's what's going to happen. Exactly. I'm going to say, thank you, colleagues. See y'all here at the same place, same time tomorrow. And the show will end and it'll get quiet. And Sarah, who's in her chair across from me, will slide it a couple inches and just stare at me. She won't say a word. She'll just look at me and just be like, you did bad. That's what her eyes will say. And I'll be like, I know. And then she'll help me get to the bottom of it. Luckily, I have a sleuth with me. Sarah will not stop. She said, okay, I have to go to the YouTube on the desktop. All right, we're going to bring Gabriel back. And we're going to have a grand feast in his honor. I will say this. You know my thought when I saw Hillary go off, y'all? Where was this when you were running?
Yeah, I agree.
She finally sounded like remember, like she would go to like the black church and be like, all right, y'all, I got my hot sauce in my purse. And everybody's like, shut up.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
It was so stiff and robotic. And I think there's a lot of consultants and that's what the Republicans don't have. Because they're like, yeah, go out there, say something disrespectful about Hispanics. Don't like the gays? Here's what you should say. Exactly. And the Democrats are almost 100% to the other side, where they have a consultant like, Tori, when you go out there, I've looked, and the hashtag believe all women all the time. And so make sure to work that into your speech, even if it doesn't go. And so you end up sounding stilted and fake informed and fake hip and weird, and you're going to get roasted on SNL. And if Hillary talk like that to Trump at the debates, it's like, look, what did you mean by that? And I don't want to hear locker room talk.
But let me say this. Then you're the angry woman. So she has to play this really hard game of I can't be the hysterical woman. I have to feel like I'm in charge, and I can't go low as he does. But what we saw in that moment was an unedited, real anger at the hypocrisy and the torture. She's having to testify about what all these other men have done.
I never met the guy.
Yeah, she has to be telling everybody else and testifying about what other men are doing. Do you know how? Are you frozen? You look frozen. Hello? Are you there? So you banned Gigi and now you're frozen. Oh no.
It's not a good look, Tori.
Ow. Are you there? It's not going well. Ow.
His frozen image kind of looks like the "oh shoot, I just banned Gigi" look.
He's frozen with guilt, Lars says. Oh my God. This is so embarrassing for him. Frozen with guilt. Al banned himself. You guys are on a roll today. I think that's so funny. Oh, good. But yeah, it was the Hillary I wanted to see. God, what were you saying about Trump, Michael Dean? That you...
Well, no, that Hillary, what I really liked, one of the things that Hillary said was that she shouldn't have been there testifying, that Trump should be there being the one answering questions about all of this, and how ridiculous, I mean, it's kind of your point, that she was there answering questions about a man she, claimed she didn't know. I don't know about that.
Well, he was at like weddings and things. Yeah.
I imagine she was at Chelsea. He was at Chelsea's wedding, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I imagine there were probably a lot of guests. And I think she said that he was a +1.
Yeah.
So it's not like he received still.
It's still, I think it's so ironic that a woman has to be testifying for all the sins of what men have done. It's just a really interesting metaphor for what we're seeing here. Oh, look who it is.
Yeah, I heard that Sar told me that there were some jokes on my expense. Shelly, we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully I won't ban you too. The internet just went out, and luckily Sar was like, it went out. So that's one thing I can't blame on myself. But yeah,
Michael D, can you show the guns? People want to see your guns. Yeah, that's what we dealt with every day. He's so strong.
Michael Dean is so jacked, and I would be in the meetings like, oh my! I was like, why doesn't my arm look like that? And I'm like missing
the two of us never paid attention, and we were like, Michael Dean is super racked. Like, wow, how does he get that way?
Do you guys know what I would do during the meetings? Is I would take a picture of Tori and I would make a meme of her and not even post it. I never would post anything. It's just for me and her. That would just, I feel like my meanness is done best one-on-one.
That's so true. Michael Dean says, I have terrible anxiety and the gym is the best remedy. He is like a gym rat and he goes all the time. But I went up to the gym by myself again, you guys, last night. And no, I went to yoga. Anyway, 2 nights ago. And again, the lights went out. I was the only one. And I did. He said, did you cry in the corner? It was a really sad moment where I was like, Friday night, I have no one. It was just lights go out on you. It was like, it was so sad. But anyway,
the apartment complex they go out when no one of merit is in this room.
Guess. So I did this because I thought it was motion censored, and then someone came in and I'm alone, going like this. But Michael Dean makes good use of the gym, and it's bravo for him. He's like the strongest person I know. So good for him. Don't go alone at night. It's in my apartment. It's locked.
Okay, I got Gabriel back.
Wait, Sar has gotten Gabriel back.
We did?
Yeah, I don't know.
It is really hilarious. We got Gigi.
He's back.
Mercury is in retrograde. That is very true. And there's a lot of planets happening today. The blood red moon is happening today. you can see the lunar eclipse happen on 3/3 at 3:33 a.m. Is that not insane?
It sounds like you're making things up.
At March 3rd at 3:33, the lunar eclipse came about. At 3:33 on 3/3. I'm just gonna repeat that. See, Black Asian. Thank you.
Okay. I wanted to know.
Okay, no, we don't.
Well, I'm sure he's not waiting for us. He's probably moved on with his day. So what we need to do is plan a really big mea culpa, or maybe I should just like let it lay as a threat to everybody. Be like, see,
no,
trigger, doc. I'm quick with that trigger. Don't come at me.
We're not doing that. No.
All right. Everybody's like, no. Okay. Really quickly, Tori. I wanted to. Did you see the McDonald's? Oh, do you want to do Jim Carrey?
Yeah, I just want to know what people. I want to know what people think.
Yeah. I mean, well, Tori, set the story up. You just can't say Jim Carrey. Talk.
Okay, Jim Carrey was in. I believe he was in Europe, getting the Caesar Excellence Award, and he showed up and looked dramatically different than before, and sounded kind of different, and kind of acted kind of different. But it was like his eyes and like his mouth and the nose shape, and he just kind of, here he is. He looks like Jim Carrey, but people have put a picture of him of what Jim Carrey really looks like next to this, and they were like, that's not Jim Carrey. And reporters on the red carpet, Al, were like, that is not who I've spoken to before on a red carpet. So he definitely, now the big issue came when a famous prankster said he was going as Jim Carrey. He was a body double, and he showed on his desk a prosthetic mask of Jim Carrey with fake teeth, and he was like, I went and that was me. And it got back to Jim Carrey, and now people are like, no, that really was Jim Carrey. But it looks like some work was done. Same with Bradley Cooper. He got an upper bleph and took out like too much, and now he looks kind of like dead. Mandy Moore, same thing, upper bleph, does not look like herself anymore. So unfortunately, plastic surgery.
There's always that one surgery where you just go, right? Yeah. It's like, look good. Who is that?
Too much. And like,
look good. You look like a cat. Like, it's just a thing.
Right. And Jim Carrey's face is like his whole career. You know what I mean? Like the way his facial expressions. So it is him. I agree with Aunt Banks. But it is bad. It is plastic surgery. He just looks like his eyes look different. Everything looks different. Y'all better tell me if I start getting too much stuff done. I've only had a little Botox, and I did add a little chin filler.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, you look great. I'll tell you.
You can't tell. And
well, that's what everybody says until you come back from Turkey and you're like, I got a new jaw. You can't tell, can you? It's like, all right. Yeah, it's a weird thing. In terms of sending people in your place, I was telling you guys before the show started, my buddy Hannibal Buress did this. He was in the movie Spider-Man 2. And Hannibal is just like a real life prankster. Like he doesn't need to go viral, but he just did it. And so I don't know if Michael Dean was able to grab that photo, but he just sent like a random black dude actor that kind of looked like him to the red carpet for Spider-Man. Yeah, that guy. He just sent that guy as Hannibal, and people interviewed him. They were like, how'd you feel? It's like, it was great. The movie was fun.
Man, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, he just
doesn't even really look. It looks a little like him.
I don't think people really know.
I agree with you.
Unless you're like, you're like, I guess that could be him.
I agree. Jag, I agree with you, because famously, Carrey played Andy Kaufman, who was a prankster and would have done stuff like that. And in my head, I was like, is this like some kind of sequel? And he's doing like an Andy Kaufman performance art thing. But it just was black. I think it was bad plastic surgery, which is sad.
Yeah.
Black Asian says that does not look like Hannibal Buress. It really didn't. But the fact that no one even caught on, that's pretty bad. That's really bad.
Michael Dean saying he just watched Ace Ventura: Pet Detective 2. Both of those movies still hold up, and it's amazing because they should not work. And I remember listening to an interview, And he's like, everybody's so like, yeah, you did great in Ace Ventura. He's like, I thought that was going to end my career.
I know.
Your first movie has to be put you on the map, and your agent comes, you're going to be a pet detective. Imagine how that sounds, where you're like,
I know.
I'm going to be the laughing stock of Hollywood.
And I think in 94, he made Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, and Ace Ventura. I think he made 3 of those movies in 1 year. It was like his year. But yeah, remember when he goes, Ventura, yes, Satan? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else. And before we had the internet, we had like quotes from Ace Ventura. Like that's all you would do is just quote him. And Billy Madison. Like that's all you would do with your friends.
Where did we get Billy Madison? He wasn't in that.
No, but it was the time and place in which we would quote Billy Madison because we didn't have like the internet. And we'd be like, shampoo is better.
Yeah, and W says the rhino butt scene was over the top. I will tell you this: that first of all, it got hot in that rhino, and the way he's slowly peeling off layers. One thing that people forget, and Tori, you're actually really good with this, and it's a part of comedy that nobody ever talks about. Physical comedy is so difficult, and you have to be so vulnerable because like. The idea of slapstick is already considered like untoward. It's supposed to be like, oh, with your mind. But Ace Ventura and just like the way that even just the scene where he steps out on the balcony and
I was going to say that.
And just like the way he it's like how many people could really pull that off?
Because it has to be precise. It's like ballet. It has to be that precise, you know? You know who does it well? Mr. Bean. Like Mr. Bean says nothing and can make you laugh with a look or a pinky, or it is a really hard skill. And
it's
Carrie
so,
had it.
I feel like you could learn to do stand-up before you could learn to be physically funny.
100%
it's just kind of a gift to just be able to fall and be limp. And only one is talking about Fire Marshal Bill, one of his characters on In Living Color.
Yeah,
he had so many different characters, and the freedom to just be silly.
Yeah,
is what I said I've always loved about you. Brandon Ernest was the same way. It's digging into a character and just being like, I don't care if you call this character stupid or stupid funny, just as long as you laugh. Will Ferrell has a lot of that. Yeah. Will Ferrell has $1 billion, but he will not, there's nothing that he won't do to not make you laugh. And that scene, the Chicago scene, when it's just like, I'm sure it wouldn't fly now, but his name translated was gay African prince, and that gay black tribesman stood up like, what's up, dog? It just like, it was so like seamless the way it moved. I thought it was just such a funny movie. And yes, Julia, Robin Williams, there's just people, and Robin Williams, he brought it to the stage and added it to his stand-up.
Yeah, and that's what you got him as the belly room. He was just doing like crazy improv with his body, changing accents. But I have to say, as a woman, you get people like the Carol Burnett's, Lucille Ball. Like we forget her physical comedy, what made that show. Her face made that show.
Her face.
Just her face. Like, so it's interesting to see those that have the ability to look ridiculous. I love those type of people. Kristen Wiig definitely has that as well.
Kristen Wiig, you know who has it and we never talk about because I think it still makes people sad and it's close, is Chris Farley.
Farley
just
had it, yeah.
For a big man, we Sarah and I were watching that and I think was it
Molly
Jack? Somebody said that they were gonna watch that 90s documentary on Hulu, but they do one about Chris Farley, obviously he was huge in the 90s, and they replayed the scene where he and Patrick Swayze were both Chippendales dancers.
Yeah.
And when the way you remember that scene is like, oh, it's a big guy with his shirt off dancing next to a super chiseled guy. But like when I rewatch that now, Chris Farley is out dancing his ass.
He's like really doing a good job.
He is physically gifted, and it's like to have a big
funny otherwise.
Thank you. Yes, it would not be funny otherwise. Yeah,
I agree with you totally.
Yeah, he allowed, and Tori, I would love for you to go back and colleagues watch that scene, because in a weird way, and this is me totally projecting maybe just my thoughts on that scene, but when they're dancing against each other to see who's going to make it to be the next Chippendale guy, I think that Patrick Swayze looked over at him and started trying harder because Chris Farley was doing so well.
Yeah.
Chris Farley could dance. He could just, like, some people, I told you, I had a friend of mine in college, he could just watch a music video and then be able to do the dance.
Yeah.
Like, without practicing it. It's just some people
have that.
They can just do that. Yeah. And it's, I think he was just definitely one of those. Wait, is Gabe back?
Is Gabe back?
Yes, Gabe is back, everybody. What if I banned him again? All right, hold on. Okay. Gabriel.
Yay!
I am glad we stayed on an extra 5 minutes because you have no idea. And first of all, Gabriel's like, what did I come back to? It is Patrick Swayze and Chris Farley with their shirts off. I felt so bad. I was trying to get that douche out of the chat, and it just moved up one. And I just looked, and it was like, Gabriel was like, well, I'm glad he's gone. No. I was like, oh, here's all. And like, I'm still trying to have a conversation. I'm like clicking shit over here. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. And Gabriel, I will let you know that your fellow colleagues really stood up for you by.
Oh, he said he stayed in the room to listen.
Oh my God, I feel even worse now. Jesus
it's like
Christ.
The monkey.
I don't need that right now. I'm about to start crying. Sorry, he said he stayed in the room to listen. Oh my gosh. I'm going to think of it. Remember, Tori, when I said there are things that I will think about? Dude, Gabriel, we love the F out of you, dog. Like, for real, it would warm your heart. I hope you saw, like, Sar got out of her chair. Like, adults were working to get you back, man, because we truly love y'all. We're here every day. We spend a lot of time together, and this means something, damn it. So I will say this, Tori, sorry to bother you. What are you looking at? The train schedule? Yeah, you're on the show. I will.
I've got to leave at 7:03 from the train station.
Yes. All right. So, Tori, do you have a fact to take us out of here?
I sure do.
We haven't done a Tori fact. Oh, no, wait, hold on. Hold on. Let's move on to a fun Tori fact. And do you know why we're going to move on? How we're able to move on? Yeah, y'all, we're moving on to Tori's Fun Fact, sponsored by Spider. If y'all need help moving, you know who to call. Call Vlad and them boys at 7. Tori, this is your lane. Please read that.
This is 720-545-3187. Hi.
That's right. Hit them up and tell them friends of work.
Beautiful,
friends from work.
Yeah, beautiful Luna gave us $1.99. I will take it.
Yes. That's to help bring in Vlad back in. Yes. And whose phone's going off? Is that you, Tori?
Mine. Yeah, I have a spam risk going on.
What do you have your ringer still on for? This is 96.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Does your phone still ring?
No, I have a cool like ringtone now.
That wasn't a cool one. That was the first one that ever came out.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, Tori, do you have a fact for us?
Yes. J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote The Lord of the Rings, fought against Hitler in the Battle of Somme during World War I.
I think that might be true. But okay. I heard...
And that wasn't as fun as I could have made it.
Right, but I don't know if he's the one, but I thought that he was the one that was accused of being anti-Semitic.
Yes, there's something there. I don't remember. Because
like I think like something like the trolls or something are supposed to be like Jew.
Oh,
it's like what the F is going on?
The goblins in charge of the money, but that's also J.K. Rowling. I think you're talking about J.K. Rowling.
Oh, J.K. is she offended the entire rainbow. She doesn't like anybody.
That's true. Yeah,
that's why I never read your dumb book.
Here's another one that's really interesting. Complete blind people do not see blackness.
Oh. What do they see?
Nothing. And I can't understand that fact, but they don't see blackness. And no blind person has ever been schizophrenic, ever. So there's a correlation between sight and schizophrenia in the brain.
That's super interesting. So yeah, that's really interesting. I could see that. I mean, the external stimuli coming to your brain's having trouble processing it, and you just you kind of lose the thread a little bit. Okay.
It says they see nothing, and someone said this is too much for me to understand. Best way I've seen this explained is to close one of your eyes, focus on something, and then try and look at the object with your eyes closed. You effectively see nothing.
Okay, if you think I'm not going to screenshot that and send it to you every morning.
It's true. That's interesting.
All right, colleagues, I will be here tomorrow before Tori runs everybody off. That's one of those things that somebody's like, you're at a house party and there's a girl in the kitchen doing that, and you just go like, whose house is this? She's really cool. Go meet her. I won't be doing that. No, Tori, I love you, girl. Yeah, I'm gonna hold it down tomorrow, so you guys come back. I appreciate y'all showing love. I'm so glad Gabriel is back. Gabriel, I felt so bad. You man, we're joking around, but like I like walk around with stuff. I'm like a Jewish woman like that, Tori. I take the guilt and I just keep it. I just bear it. I don't even drink. I just let it sit there. Tori, knock it off.
Okay, sorry.
Knock it off. I love you so much, Teddy
Love
Ruxpin.
You too.
All right, Michael Dean, we love you, buddy. Hey, colleagues, thanks for hanging. We'll be tomorrow, but y'all know where to find us. Tell a friend to tell a friend. All right, we out. Tori, it's taking me forever.